Hi friends, my name is Vinod and welcome back. This is a part 3 of our Excel dashboard journey. In part 1, we introduced the data. In part 2, we have cleaned the data, whatever raw data set we have, right? And we made it possible like this. Cool. If you missed them, links are in the description. Part 1 and part 2, you can just check it out and learn it from there. Today, we will be creating insightful interactive dashboard from sheet 2, the clean data. We won't be using a relationship because we have just a one table. You can see on the screen, right? We just using a one specific table over here. That's what we are not using a relationship over here. Once we get the multiple tables, say employees, sales, and regions, we will build relationships in part 4. So stay tuned. So without further ado, let's quickly start with this specific dashboard. First, what we have to do, we have to just check our data if it is in table. Okay, so if I can see over here at the top, my data is already in the table format. Now what I'm gonna do over here is I'm just gonna change this table name over here. Now if in case you are a new over here, again we are requesting you just watch out our part 1 and part 2 series where we have imported this data from raw data set, okay, the txt file basically, and basis that we have cleaned that data as per the alignment of data type, and then we got this table over here. Cool. So I'm just simply changing the name of this specific table over here. Okay, once it is done, what I'm going to do over here is simply adding a helper column over here. Cool. So I'll just simply scroll right over here and we'll say this sales underscore n, and we'll add a column is equal to value. Okay, substitute. This is the formula I'm using in over here. And once again, substitute. We'll select sales, which is this, and then the sign of the. So in my keyboard, I don't have this specific sign, which is euro sign, right? So what I'm going to do, I'm just simply changing this sign to dollar, simply. Okay. So dollar, and then again, I will add this particular double noted comma over here. Once again, comma, double noted comma over here, bracket close here and bracket close. Cool. So once it is done, I'll just simply hit a enter button. Okay. I'll just make sure over here, I'm going to change this signs as well. Okay. Simply keep this as a dollars only, and here also dollars. Great. So I got this change in over here. Similar fashion, we have to do it for target as well. So what I'm going to do over here is set target, then let's say new, and then we'll apply a same logic over here. We'll say first value, substitute, once again substitute. Okay, once it is done, what you have to do, you have to just select that specific value over here, which is this is my currency, and this is the dollar sign for me, right? Bracket close. Okay, comma once again, double noted comma, here, and then here also comma, like this, bracket close, hit enter. Boom. So I got this result here available. Change this. Great. So this is what I got it over here. Now simply add a achieved percentage over here. Get that, I'll just simply say achieved underscore percentage over here. This is the basic calculation I'm doing in over here in helper column, and we'll say this. Okay, divide by this. So this is what I have received it over here, and I will simply click on this percentage sign over here. And this is the overall calculation achieved percentage for me, right? And the variance now. Okay, so to calculate variance, I will simply click here variance, and here simply add a is equal to sign. Let's say this, right, minus my target, and this is the variance. Great. Now I will just simply add this specific column over here, which is my joining year, and here we'll say this year, and in here I will simply select the joining date. Where is the joining date? So I have this joining date over here. Cool. So simply I have selected this, and what I'm gonna do over here is I'll just simply close bracket, and then you can simply just hit the enter button. Okay. So simply we have added in this many helper columns so far: cells new, cell target new, achieve percentage variance, and then joining year over here. Cool. So last one, which is the most important one, I would say rather. Okay. And this is really important every time to check it. Tenure brackets basically, right? So I'll just say tenure band over here, and we'll apply this specific formula, which is ifs. Okay. So what I'm gonna do over here is I'll just simply select this, and then less than, okay, less than 12 comma, here I will say this specific sign less than 1 year. I will just add this comma. Once again we'll select this 24 comma 1 to 2 year, right? And then double noted comma over here, comma, once again this, and then I'll say this 24 over here, comma, double noted comma over here, let's say 1, and then comma again, and then dash again over here, let's say 2 year, right? So this is the bracket I'm just adding over here, and then we'll just add this tenure mtd once again 36. Let's say I have added this 36 over here, and here we'll add a 2 dash year. Cool. So as soon as it is done, we need a last formula, which is called true over here, true or false, right? So I'll just say true over here, comma, and if it is more than 3 years, so simply add a 3 year over here. Okay, so it's more than 3 year, simply add this specific value over here, and then bracket close. Let's say hit enter over here. Boom, we got this result over here. Cool. It's just a tenuity bracket over here, what we have available. Okay, folks. Helpers makes analysis easier. Okay, we strip symbols to get numbers, calculate achievement, variance, and bucket employees by tenure. This way, pivots and charts can tell stories. Okay, to create a dashboard, what we have to do now? Let's insert a new sheet over here. Okay, in this specific workbook, we have to insert a new worksheet over here. Let's say this. Okay, sheet 4, and then in this specific sheet 4 I will call this as a dashboard. That is the dashboard for me, and then let me just turn this off because it's not really required. Even this is not required, so I'm just hiding this. Okay. And this is also not required, so I'll just keep this as a blank only. That is fine. So this is the dashboard for me. Okay, so now what we have to do, and why we have added this specific separate worksheet over here. With separate raw data from the presentation layer, this keeps things clean. Our dashboard sheet will hold all visuals and slices. So that's what we have created this specific view over here. Okay, so this will help us to see the only for visuals and the slices. Great. Now every dashboard there are KPIs, right? So we have to identify the KPIs first. What are the KPIs for us? And then what I'm going to do over here is I'll just simply add a KPI cards in this. Okay, so at the top row I'll simply insert a top shapes over here first. Okay, and how we gonna insert that? So shapes, and then here we'll select this rounded shapes like this. So this is the shape for me. Great. So this is how I have inserted a one shape, and then I'll just show you once again, and then you can take it from there, and later on I'll just take it as a copy and paste it. Just click here in insert shapes, and then there is an option called rounded corners rectangle, right? So just simply click here, and then you have to just paste it like this. I'll delete it this time because I don't really require one shape is enough for me. Insert this specific shapes, right? What you have to do, you have to insert a formula over here, okay? And always your formula will not directly work in the shapes, okay? You just have to take that note, okay? You have to insert always your formula here, and then later on you can link that with your specific shapes, okay? So how we are going to add that formula? Just say sum over here, and then I will say this employees, because employees was a table for us, right? And what we need a sales over here, okay? So this is the new column which we have created as a helper column. So this is the value we gonna get it over here, and this is what we received it, okay? So likewise we'll do it for target as well, okay? And I'll make sure that I'll take one space over here as a one column space over here, and I'm just gonna simply do a same thing for this as well, employees, and then here we'll add this as a target, this bracket close like this, and hit enter. And again I'll just move a one step ahead, and here we'll say sum, and we'll add again employees sales, which is this, okay? So this is done, and we'll add sales, close, divide by your sum again. You either add a formula like this, okay, or maybe just simply just say this, cancel, and here this divide by this, okay? So you gonna get a this specific percentage over here. Cool. And once it is done, I'm just moving ahead over here and average performance. So here I will just simply add a average, and here we'll add a employees, and in employees table I have a performance score, this specific column, right? So as soon as it is done, I got this specific score over here, and I'm gonna do a only 2 digits value over here because I don't want multiple digits to be shown over here. That's what I have added over here. And then once it is done, and the last one, which is the most important, okay, here we'll add a head count. Okay, so to get a head count, we'll say this count a, and then I will add a employees table, and in the employees overall employee count over here. Close, hit enter. So total 40 employees, which we have already discussed, right? Total 40 records we have available with us. Now let's try to embed this with this. Okay. So how we gonna do? Just say is equal to and add this. Hit enter. Cool. Do we got a result? So answer is yes. Okay. So we received a result like this. Likewise, we'll do it for rest of the others. And what I'm gonna do over here is, okay, I'll just skip these things like this. So whatever values are there at the bottom will be remain as it is, and it will reflect like this. Okay, so first I'll arrange this, and then later on we'll just copy and paste that. Okay, so let me just keep it center like this, and bold, make it white, and then increase the size like this. Okay, and once it is done, I'll just do a Control C and Control V over here. Likewise, Control C, Control V. Good. And the rest of the others also will follow the same. Okay. And we'll ensure that we'll resize that later on part, but for now we're just resizing like this. Cool. So I'll just move this atop, and then this range is different. So this time we'll delete this, and we'll select this and then hit enter button. Okay, and move it like this again. Likewise for this as well. Delete this, take it this specific range. Is equal to this. Hit enter. Then when I get these sizes available like this, I'll just arrange it like this, because this KPI cards is not really those kind of effects we are getting over here. Value is very less, so that's what we are keeping this very less size over here. Okay, so I'll just keep this as it is like this, and then simply delete this again. Is equal to, select this, hit enter. Likewise for this as well, delete this, and then is equal to, select this, hit enter. Great. So this is done, and this has also been arranged now. And now, since we are sure about what this data is all about, but the person who gonna leverage this, okay, the user who are going to access this kind of data, they don't know what it is all about, right? So to do that, what we have to do, we have to just arrange this first. Okay, let me just arrange this first. I'll tell you what I'm gonna explain over here. So this is in middle, and then simply horizontally like this, and this has been arranged now. Now what I'm going to do over here is simply add a overlay at the top. Okay, so what exactly it means? Good. So to do that, what I'm going to do, click insert here, and then text box over here. We'll say this as a total sales, and once one is arranged, okay, we just have to do a copy paste for the rest of the others. So this is like this, and bold again, keep it little short like this. Great. So I'm good with this, and later on we'll see if we can change the color scheme accordingly. Yeah. So for now, we'll keep this as it is. Copy and paste here. We'll say target. Again, we'll click on this, copy and paste. And this time we'll call this as a achievement percentage. So achievement, and let's say this percentage sign. Okay. If it is not really reflecting over here, just say like this. Okay, sometimes and this is very important learn. Okay, sometimes we see that not always all text will be getting added. Okay, that time you have to use a very short name over here. Okay, let's just say achievement over here. Good. And once it is done, simply just copy and paste the same at the next KPI. Cool. So this is how we have added a simple naming convention over here. And again, just a raw data set we have. Okay, we are not using a very accurate data over here. So our number can be here and there for now. But since it is a raw dummy data set for us to explore and learn, right? So that's what we are exploring. Cool. So this is what we have plotted over here. And what I'm going to do over here is simply add a violet border at the top. Okay. Insert, and this, if I click here and select this, okay, violet border, and if I go here and I need this color, suppose I will say I need this, and suppose I'll hit enter button like this. Cool. So this is how it looks like. But whenever we add this kind of lines, right, sometimes this color matches with our template, okay, or sometimes it is not. Okay, so that time what we can do, this option will really help you in Excel itself. There is an option in page layout. Okay, and that time we have to use this option, themes. We're going to use that themes. So that's what we are not using this line option. Okay, I'll just simply delete this. For now, we'll just insert a data. Okay, we just see a visualization over here, and at the end we'll play with these themes. Okay, and whichever we find best, we're gonna use that. Cool. Now, simply what I'm gonna do over here is, before I work on this everything on the dashboard, right? We'll insert pivot tables over here. Okay, so simply I'll click on this option called insert and pivot table over here, and here pivot table will ensure that we'll select this entire range over it's available. Okay, this is the pivot table fields for me, and in this specific field what I'm going to do over here is this rows section. Okay, department available should be in rows, and I'll add a values which is this, like this, and then what I'm going to do, I'll add a target as well at the bottom. Okay, and then simply insert a combo chart over here, insert, and then here will click, you can simply click here and you can just insert a chart from here, or maybe click on this option recommended chart. I would recommend click on this option recommended chart because this will help you to showcase your visualization skill, right? So you can just check and play around with your data how the visualization looks like. Okay, and you can take it from there. And I would recommend to take it this, because this looks fine for me. I will just simply select this and I'll hit it enter button over here. Okay, now I can see this data looks okay. Obviously something sum is looking here and target is here. Okay, so it is not making a sense for me. So what I'm going to do, I'll just again change this in design, change chart type here, and we'll simply select this and I'll hit enter button. Now it's showing me correct data, maybe the sensible data, because the target is this and we are at this. Okay, so I'll just insert this kind of a chart. In case you are still not happy with this kind of a chart, okay, what you want to do over here is you just have to simply click here. Okay, and in combo chart there is an option called this. Okay, so overall your sales and what is your target. So simply click here, and then so clustered column is for your sales. Once you add that, just simply select this clustered columns, and then line is chart for your target. Okay, so format can be sales in green, and target can be a different color. Okay, so you can choose that. This is your own requirement. For now I'm just selecting this, and you can just change the color from here as well. Okay, this is the target and this is how it looks like. For now I'm just keeping the entire things as it is. Okay, we are not playing with the colors. Okay, for now we'll just select this, and what exactly this gives us. Okay, this answers which department is meeting targets, easy visual bars for sales, line for targets. Okay, so simply do a control X over here and insert it over here. Great, so I have inserted this. Now here what I'm going to do, I'm just deleting a this specific value. Okay, so but before I delete that, I'll just check a what else I have to insert it over here. Okay, so I'll just keep it this as it is, and I'll just now paste it over here in the dashboard section. I'll go again over here and copy this kind of a pivot table over here. I'll just copy this and paste it over here. Okay, and in the next pivot table, what I need. Okay, so here we'll add a region in the rows. I just drag it like this, this, and this. So here we'll check this in region, and in region we'll add a achieved percentage, which we have used a formula called average, right? So this is what we got the result over here, and then we'll click here, and here we'll select average and we'll hit a enter button. Cool. So this is what the result I got over here. Again, you can see the values may vary. Okay, because our data is not really number wise accurate. The reason behind is we are using a very dummy data set. Okay, if in case you have a accurate data set, you have a proper values, you will get a result total 100%. Okay, it is not more than 100%. Unless there is some proper result is there, right? So now what I'm going to do over here is I'll just simply insert a bar chart over here. I'll go here again, and here we'll check what type of chart will be good for me, and we'll click on this and hit a OK button. So this is what I have inserted over here, and again let's do Control X dashboard, just paste it over here. Cool. So this is what we have pasted over here, and we'll just resize this. Again we'll click here. Let's say what else we need. Just a Control C, Control V over here, and just move like this. Click here again. Just turn this option on. Your table fields, your fields will be turned on. Now let's say you want to check a employees top 5 performers. Okay. In this case, what you can do, okay, you just have to simply insert a employees over here. So insert a employees like this, and once it is inserted, simply insert a sales what they have performed. So this is the sales what they have added over here. Cool. So once it is added, what I'm gonna do over here is I need a total top 5 sales. Cool. So in this case, here we'll add filter, and let's say we'll say top 10 this time. Okay. And if in case you want to change this to 5, let's say 5, and hit OK, you got a result then there. Cool. So this is how you can add your top 5 performers over here. So once it is done, you just have to simply click here, recommended chart, and this is your charts basically. So you can insert any of the participants. So we are going to insert this. So again, Control X, and just go at the bottom. Let's do A here, Control V, and arrange it. For now, we'll just copy and paste it with our visualization over here. We are not doing any kind of an arrangement or maybe color coding. Great. Now the leaves versus performance. To calculate that, what I'm going to do over here is in the sheet 2, what we have to do is simply select this leaves taken and performance score over here. Okay, once you select this, simply click on this option and click on this bubble chart over here. Okay, so bubble score will be reflecting like this. At the top, you can see the result. You can change it as per your own convenience. Okay, for now, we are not changing that. We are just adding a performance score like this. Right click, add a data label over here, and in the data label I can see these values to be shown, right? So simply move this again, a Control X over here, and just simply paste it here, which is my performance score. If it is too much, you can just simply change this chart design once again to this and hit a OK button. Okay, so you get a chart like this, which is your scatter plot. Cool. So this is how we have inserted a performance scatter plot. This is a insight reach whose high performance with a many leads. Okay, who needs a coaching the story. Cool. So this is what we have added a performance score over here. And now tenuity. Since we have added a tenuity over here, what we have to do, we have to insert a tenuity bracket as well. Okay. To do that, again, I'm just simply adding a this specific pivot table over here, and I'll paste it over here. Simply remove this. We don't require even this as well. What we want a tenuity. So I'll add a tenuity over here. Okay, and since we have already added a tenure band over here, I'm just simply add a tenure band instead of tenuity entity. So simply select this entity like this, employee in the values like this. So this is the overall tenuity band I have it. Okay, and in this case, I'm gonna insert a stack chart. Okay, we'll check if the stack chart really help us. Okay, so simply insert this 100% stack and I'll hit a enter button. Okay, so once it is entered, okay, so this is the data set what we are seeing it over here. Let's do a control X and then scroll down again and paste it here. Great. So this is what we have added over here for the tenuity one. Right? Okay. In PivotTable Analyze, I'll simply hit a slices button. Okay. Simply click here any of the PivotTable. Like here, I'll click on this option, Analyze, hit a slicer button. I got this many slicers available. Simply add a department region, and then we'll add a rating as well, which is this, joining year and tenuity band. So joining year is this and tenuity band is this. Because this many we have imported a slicers. Just do a control X and simply click here and click on this option and just simply paste it over here. We'll move this at the top because we already at the bottom. We'll keep it like this and we'll arrange this in a way that this will help us to do a proper movement of our data, right? So this is how I'm adding it. Its entire buttons like this, and tenuity band would be at the bottom. Cool. So this is what I have inserted tenuity band over here. Let's close this again and I'll hit it enter. One click, filters all visual slices, make the dashboard more interactive. Okay, to see that, what we have to do, we have to just click any of the button. Okay, we have to check if it is really working fine. Okay, it is not. No need to worry. Simply just go and check the other slicer. Okay, it is only visual. So that time, what we have to do, just ensure that your pivot tables are talking to each other. Okay, just click on any of the pivot table. Click on this pivot table analyze, and then click on this option called filter connection. Okay, turn this option on. Right, you have to turn this option on every time for every pivot table whichever you are importing. Cool. Just do this for every individual, and yeah, it is already done. Just click here, filter connection, and then here as well. Simply go here, and this is what we have did over here. Now if I move over here in the dashboard and I click on this north, I can check everything is getting changed. Okay, only this is not getting changed. Performance score would be in a static mode because we have not created any kind of a pivot table for this. Okay, if in case you still want this to be shown in view mode, what you can do, just do a control X over here. We don't really require that. Simply copy this, okay, and go it here, paste it, and simply let me just arrange this because it's getting hidden over here. Once it is done, just click here, pivot table analyze, field list, and then once it is done, let's remove this too. Okay, and we have added over here. Let's check that again. We have added a this leaves taken and performance score, right? So simply add that here, leaves score, whatever we say is that, right? So we leaves taken here and performance score like this. So once it is done, so simply just say and employee voice, right? So if in case you want this to be shown as an employee voice, ensure that you are adding a employee voice like this. Great. So once it is done, just say insert this, and this time let's say this. Okay, and here also I will make sure that we'll create a filter connection. Okay, ensure that you are selecting that, yeah, because that is really important. Let's do control X here and do a control V. This has been arranged over here now. Okay, so instead of scatter, what we are doing, we are using this line chart over here. Okay, so once I have added this, what I'm gonna do over here is I'll just double check if all the report connections are working fine for me. Cool. Just click here again. Let's say this filter connection because we have added a new one, right? So if it is in good shape or not, we have to just double check on that part. this again. Okay, so I think we are almost there. Yeah, cool. So I think we are in a good shape. So just simply do a here filterization, just remove it like this. Okay, so we got this entire result like this. Okay, and if I click on this IT, I got only IT, and then it has been changed for the IT and so on and so forth. Great. So simply we have added our own visualization. Okay, we have added a slicers over here. Now we are just making that interactive. So just we have built a connections over here. Cool. So now what is next? So next is that let's say we'll add a achievement percentage over here. Okay. So what I'm gonna do, whatever achieved percentage we have, right? So we'll simply insert those over here. We'll just say this moved like this here, and here I'll just simply say is equal to sheet 2, and in sheet 2 we'll take this as a value, and I'll hit a enter button. Okay, I'll double click over here. So I'm just simply dragging that value over here. So whatever values is available there, I'm just simply inserting that over here. We'll just check if it is entries are correct. Okay, so 39 entries we have imported so far. We need a 40, right? So last one is the 70. So just let me just check over here if it is getting a 70 result at the bottom. So the one last one is a 58, right? So we have to insert one more, and then we are in a good shape. Cool. So boom. So we got it. And this is also been arranged over here. Great. And once since we have this space available, what I'm gonna do over here is I'll just keep this moved over here, and I'll keep this at the top. And if in case you are not really happy with the designing also, okay, folks, what you can do, you can change the charts as well. Yeah, it is not that we have to stick with the bar chart as always. Okay, we can change the charts as well. So here I'm just changing this. Cool. So once it is done, and this is my achieved percentage, I would say. Cool. So here, once we have added this, simply select this, make it center, and then in the conditional formatting, new rule, let's say 3 color scale. Okay. And in the this highest value, we'll add this as a number. Okay. And here we'll call this as a 100%. Okay, if it is more than 100% wrong, that will so shows us an error. I'll give you the workaround for that as well. Or maybe if in case you have a more than 100%, okay, ensure that you're not adding a accurate number over here. Okay, just skip it. Simply click here again. Let's say color scale, and here we have these options available. Okay, you can choose it from here. Or maybe in new rule, we have this color scale available. Simply highest value will be this, and the minimum value what you want to keep it. Suppose I want to keep this as a 40, I'll keep it this as a 40, and lowest would be like this, and I'll hit a enter button. So I got a result like this. Okay, so this is my overall achieved percentage. I'll make this as a bold. Great. So once it is done, what I'm gonna do over here is I'll simply delete this. Okay, because those are not really required for us. Just right click and simply delete it. Delete, 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 and delete. Here also format background. I will ensure that we'll keep this in a bottom. Okay, close it, right click, hide all. Okay, again here also the same thing. We'll do a right click over here and we'll hide it. My mouse is acting a bit weird. Okay, so it is not really working that pace. Okay, so bear with me, please. Right click and then hide all. Again, here also right click. We have to just simply click on this, hide all. So once we have this available, simply once it is done, okay, we just have to plot a headers over here. Okay, don't forget to add those. Okay, because it's really important to showcase that. I'll turn on the grid lines first, okay, because it is not really required, and then ensure that we will be adding a titles because we don't know what exactly that means, right? So that's what we are doing it, and then we'll turn on the labels as well. Okay, so let me just turn off the grid lines first. Here also, and then here also. Simply click here and then turn off the grid lines and turn on the data labels like this. Okay, so labels, data labels. Okay, this data labels is not really good, so click on this data callout like this. Okay, so here, and because it's already showing at the top, we'll take this to the bottom. Here we can't turn on this data label. If we, right, so it will look like this. Okay, if in case you wish to add it, simply you can just turn this on, or maybe you can just simply turn that off. Okay, for now I'm keeping this on. Complete your call how you want to keep it. Okay, once it is done, again up, click here, data label over here, and then here also data label. Okay, so whatever values are there, target based and the actual base versus your target, right? This will be shown over here. Cool. So since I have spoken to you already, right? So we have to add a, this titles. It's a very important. Okay. So without titles, you will be not understanding what exactly your data called, right? So that's what I'm adding a title over here. Simply say title, and we'll call this as a sales versus actual versus target instead of sales because we know it's a sales dashboard, right? So yeah, and this is my region specific, right? So I will say region specific achievement, right? Region achievement, and then here will be use a top performer, top 5 performer, top 5 performer. And then once it is done, we'll simply use a leaves versus performance, which is this leaves versus performance. Great. And the last one, I think this one is a tenuity specific, right? So we have to add that as well. So let's say tenuity, tenured. Okay, so it's fine. So once it is done, okay, so what we have to do, we have to ensure our designing looks fine, our dashboard looks fab, okay, because this is just a drag and drop kind of work, okay, which we have did it already, okay. So now it's time to do a visualization more appealing. Okay, to do that, let me just drag this first, and then let's scroll down over here. We got this kind of design. Simply click here in View Ribbon tab and turn this option off over here. And if in case your requirement is that always you have to print this kind of visualization. Suppose you know we want only excellent data. Okay, I have selected this as excellent, and I need only excellent kind of an information. Okay, so I just selected this and wanted to share this with my client. Okay, so what I'm gonna do, okay, I'm clicking on this option Control P, and then we got this option to print this, and then we share it with our client. Okay, to do that, we can even automatize our dashboard. Okay, I'm gonna explain that, but before I begin that, let me just quickly show you this option which I'm discussing. I'm much better for this theme, and then simply just change this thing. So you see your dashboard. Okay, so whatever looks, whatever preference, whatever brand, right, you like it, and you can just choose it based on your own requirement, right? So yeah, this is how you can use these brands. And if in case you are not really happy with this as well, okay, what you can do, you can create your customization with the help of this option, okay, browse themes, and you can simply, you know, whatever theme you have created, you just have to simply download that and you have to just plug in over here, and you can just done with this. Okay. So now when we say this, okay, this kind of a dashboard, and we want to ensure that this is printing is been properly done, that time we just have to simply click here this option. We get these dotted lines. Just arrange this. Okay. So whatever work is here, achieved percentage and so on and so forth, we gonna get printed in our printing. Okay. So I'll just click here again, and I got this specific page. I'm back. And then suppose you want to change this as a design to something else like this. Okay, you can simply change it. Or maybe this time you want to change this as well. Just arrange it like this, change this. Okay. So this is how you can change your own chart design as per your own requirement codes. Okay. So once it is done, what I'm gonna do over here now, okay, just simply arrange this. Great. So this arrangement has been done. And if I click on this Control P button, you can see this entire data has been getting selected in my dashboard. Great. Now, what I'm going to do over here is, suppose if in case you wish to change the font, okay, you can change the font as well, because font will tell your data story a lot. Okay, always remember. So always you have to be very choosy enough while you are choosing, selecting your fonts. Cool. So I would recommend you to go with Arial. Okay, Arial is a very basic. Okay, you just have to put your very basic structure where users can read it, they can understand it, how basically it works. Cool. Just simply select this, and to add your company name over here. Okay, and this is the dashboard specific. You can add that. What you have to do, simply just say this, insert like this, and let's say this is the title for you, and let's say this kind of arrangement I have did over here. Okay, and once I have added this, I'll say sales analysis for discover talent. Okay, and once it is done, just say Control A, center like this, B, and increase the size. Cool. If in case you are not really happy with this kind of a title, don't worry. Let's say sales dashboard. Okay. And once it is added, let's say this is your very basic, okay, color code, the background, and this will be your title. And here, always remember, don't require this kind of an outline. So ensure that you're removing that outline. Okay. And once it is done, just ensure that in the printing you want a proper border. That time you just have to simply click here again, insert this, and this time you will insert a entire border like this. Okay. And once it is inserted, simply select this, click on this option, no fill, and then here we'll call this as a dark border, and here weightage would be 6. Great. Again, what I'm gonna do over here is I'll just arrange this because this is not centrally aligned. So it is done. I can see at the printing when I do Control P over here, this is the dashboard looks like for me. Isn't that great? Okay. I'll just do a escape over here. And here again, if in case you are not really happy with this, also the design, okay, because too much green, we can just simply change that, and let's say this design. Okay, So this is how the design looks for me. Great. So this is the final design we will be keeping in. Okay. And last but not the least, since I have promised you, okay, if in case you want to automatize this, okay, if in case you want a one button over here to be added over here like this, okay, to get real-time refresh and get a printing then and there. Okay, that time what you can do, simply add a this specific code which I'm going to paste it over here. Cool. So what I'm going to do over here is just say this in developer tab. We'll click on this option called Visual Basics. Okay. Once you click on this option Visual Basics, click on this Insert Module option. Once you click on this option, simply add a sub over here. Okay. And what exactly it means over here. Okay. We're gonna explain you as soon as it is done. Save this again. Save it. Say this. Here we'll add a one button over here. Let's say print me. This is my button, and this button would be in centrally align again, and like this. We'll keep this as a bold and like this. Okay, so this is my print me button. Okay, and this time I will simply add a macro over here. Just right click. Okay, so whatever code we have pasted there, right? We are simply going to assign that over here. There we go. Cool. So once it is done, simply click on this option called this print me. Okay, and it's asking us to save this file. So let's say this learn with me, and I'll hit a save button. Once it is done, I'll just say learn with me, and let me just show you. Let's say this learn with me over here, and boom, you can see at one simple click, okay, we got this automated dashboard printed on the screen. Good. Close this PDF, too much knowledge, right? So this is how the sales dashboard looks like in the PDF for me. If in case you are not really again the happy with your designing part, okay, what you can do, you can just simply change these charts as well. Design change chart type, click on this, let's say this, and if in case you don't require this as well, let's say this, you have added. Cool. So this is what the designing will be look like for you. Okay, again, complete your call how you want to keep it your dashboard. It's complete you as a designer, you will be thinking on those lines, right? So yeah, viewers can consume that data. It's the designing you are providing to them, right? And it's complete your call how you are designing them. Cool. So at one click, we have refreshed the data, export the PDF, and print the dashboard. Imagine walking into meetings ready, right? Once you go to the meeting and you want this data in a PDF, simply just have to simply click here. Okay. So today we built an interactive, insightful dashboard in Excel from sheet to clean the data. We created a KPIs, pivots, slicers, scatter plots. Okay. And here we have, instead of scatter plots, now we have inserted a line chart. Cool. Tenure cohorts and even automation. Okay. If in case you want, relationship needs to be done in the table wise, right? Help me with the proper domain specific name, right? Suppose you want me to create in supply chain specific public safety. Okay. Help me with the data set. Okay. So I can create that in the part 4, and multiple tables would be there. Okay. We can build that relationship in the advanced kind of role. Okay, and this domain will be really help like for HR, sales, and finance. Okay, since this data set is for the HR, And we intentionally call this as a sales dashboard because majority our audience is from sales department. Cool. But again, this data is a raw data set. If in case you wish us to cover any specific data like sales, HR, public safety, you know, logistic, automation, or maybe any other IT related data you want us to cover, okay? Feel free to drop your comment in below section, okay? If this help you, hit that like button, subscribe us, and drop a comment. What chart would you add in the dashboard? Okay. See you in the next video. I hope you found this useful, folks. So please hit the subscribe button and thanks for watching.